Thanks to the everlasting popularity of Strider both as a series and a character, Capcom surveys and an overwhelming amount of fan demand meant the cybernetically armed ninja would be slashing his way back with a brand new game, and it was just in time for the series' 25th anniversary. Strider 2014, simply titled Strider, was a combined effort between Double Helix, the same developer that brought back Killer Instinct, and Capcom's Osaka-based studio. And I'm happy to say not only did they deliver, but they managed to take the original 45-minute arcade experience and transform it into a brand new 8-hour experience, blending Strider's action with the exploration of a Metroidvania. Taking inspiration from games like Shadow Complex, the developers took a more streamlined approach to the Metroidvania formula, and it doesn't strictly follow the shtick of constant backtracking that many of them are known for, but instead, it manages to strike a perfect balance of exploration and action. So even when you're exploring the game, it always maintains that feel of being a lightning fast killing machine. The story of Strider 2014 is essentially a retelling of the classic Strider story. The Strider clan has sent Strider to infiltrate the Kazaa city, the home base of the Grandmaster Mayo, who has overtaken the planet. Where numerous other Striders have failed, our hero, the youngest agent to ever become an A-class Strider, is the only one capable of stopping the Grandmaster. And while you don't get Harumaru's awesome artwork for the story beats in this game, here the story unfolds in a more traditional manner through in-game cutscenes as you proceed through your main objectives. And I actually find the storytelling here to actually be more well-paced and more coherent compared to the arcade style of Strider 2. It's still a simple story, but it's more fleshed out and more enjoyable to watch unfold.
This Strider is strong.
Too strong for you?
Not at all, but he has already defeated the North Wind.
The Grandmaster is resurrecting all of the winds. They will succeed.
They are not enough. Even with North, they are not enough.
Afraid they'll steal your prize?
No, I simply await the inevitable.
While the plot and settings are the same, make no mistake, this is a brand new experience. The core gameplay mechanics and level designs have changed and are better than ever. Strider has a bunch of new techniques and weapons, and gone is the divided scene structure of Strider 2. You now instead have a Metroidvania style world with around 30 or so fully realized areas to explore. From the rooftops of Kazaa to the military installations, a research lab and organ recycling center, to the gravitron chambers, and even the skies above. All the classic settings return and then some. But the best part of the Metroidvania style maps is, unlike many Metroidvanias, I never had any moment of feeling lost or feeling like it was redundant to revisit different areas. Even towards the end of the game, when I wanted to search around for hidden health upgrades I missed, I went back through the map and picked them all up, and it didn't take that much time. Navigating through the map is super fast and snappy. And this is thanks to the level designs being laid out in a more streamlined fashion, draw an inspiration from 2009's Shadow Complex, and it helps how quick and fluid Strider's movement is. Never once did it feel cumbersome, and as you'd expect, there's all sorts of hidden items around the areas like health upgrades, energy upgrades, concept art, and even a whole heap of different costumes, which allow you to change your Strider's colors to be based on all sorts of other Striders, including Strider Hien. Strider has a wide array of new abilities. The Slide Assault can now damage enemies and be used to enter small spaces, as well as a downward strike that can break through some flooring. The combat is satisfying as all hell. Double Helix really knows how to make every button press and movement feel very responsive and impactful, and the sound effects that follow are crispy. Listen to how satisfying it is to hear the clings and clangs of your blades as you climb around on the walls and ceilings. Since Strider 2014 is no longer like an arcade game with infinite corridors, you can no longer mash your way to victory. Now when your health bar is depleted, you'll have to go back to the last checkpoint. But with that said, the checkpoints are very generous. The game provides a decent challenge, but it's pretty fair. Even the death traps will not result in a game over. Instead, you'll just lose a little bit of health and appear right back before the trap. Now let's talk more about the combat, because there's a lot to get into. Through this new Strider, you'll get equipped with not one, but up to 4 different ciphers that break through your enemy's defenses. Your standard cipher returns, and you can be upgraded with a charged attack, allowing you to break through shields. Kind of like Mega Man, you'll be running around with your cipher charged and ready to go. And then you can upgrade it further to reflect projectiles back at your enemies. And as you progress, the enemies get wiser to your act, so with that, you'll get equipped with 3 other ciphers. The second cipher you'll find is the explosive cipher, allowing you to break through yellow shields and burn your enemies to a crisp. And the third cipher is the ice cipher. As the name implies, you can turn your enemies into popsicles. And in the air, you can even turn them into platforms to climb on. The fourth and final cipher is the magnetic cipher, which gives Strider his projectiles. He'll shoot 2 purple plasma boomerangs, giving you some nice range, and it can be charged up for a bigger, more powerful boomerang. And I love how each of these ciphers, they also change the cool translucent color of Strider's flowy scarf. In addition to the cipher's attacking abilities, each and every weapon and tool you find in the game is also used to unlock specific doors. But we ain't done yet. Strider has a number of other tools. The super mode, when you slash through enemies without getting hit, the circle next to your health bar will fill up, and then you'll glow red, do more damage, and your range will be doubled. Then there's the kunai projectile, which uses a little bit of energy meter. Option C is a robot eagle that will perform a powerful fire-based swooping attack. And this can also be used on eagle perches to transport you to the sublayer of that area. Option B is a Robo Panther that will run around and attack enemies in front of you with increased damage for every kill. Similar to the eagle, the Panther platforms, these are your fast travel points between each different map. And option A, the Dipodal Saucer. These give you Strider's energy orbs, and they double as a shield and shoot yellow plasma balls when you attack. Once you have this unlocked, you'll also be able to use it to hack into computer panels, which unlocks new paths. And last but not least is a sick plasma catapult. This one will send you launching yourself into a single direction, and when performed in the air, it gives you a brief moment of slowdown right before you release the button. You can find different upgrades for the plasma catapult to add a number of effects based on the cipher that you're currently equipped with. For instance, once you have the explosive catapult unlocked and equip the explosive cipher, you'll be able to damage enemies by catapulting through them. All the weapons and gizmos are really fun to play with, and it plays into the game's platforming in a lot of interesting ways. And the level designs and platforming have just as much variety. Just about every kind of platforming that you could possibly fathom. Naturally, you'll be met with a series of boss fights, and I really like how some of these bosses are introduced. Sometimes you'll just be making your way through an area, and a boss will start making his way in from the background. In vintage Strider fashion, there's always a lot of activity going in and out of the background, which really helps make this world feel alive. These boss fights are fun and challenging, and any returning characters have been reimagined from the ground up. These are no longer the simple fights of the past. They have big, robust patterns to tackle, and you'll need to be quick on your feet and learn those patterns and how to approach them. Sometimes it'll come down to the wire. There's nothing quite like the satisfaction you feel when you're hanging on by a thread and you dish out that final blow.
Stranger. Yes, you are a Strider. I've seen you guy before. I've seen him here when...
What do you know of Striders, prisoner?
So...
The game's overall art style is still a sight to behold 8 years later. The 3D character models might have aged a bit if you look really up close, but where the game really shines visually is the crazy amount of little details that go above and beyond. The game's lighting, for instance, is absolutely stunning. The way it hits and reflects off different surfaces, or even the fog in the atmosphere. The game is vibrant and colorful. There's so much neon and visual noise that's coming from every direction, from the lights in the environment to the satisfying hit sparks that explode with every enemy you slash or item box you break. The music is fantastic, and it pays some awesome homages to the original Strider tracks. The soundtrack was composed by Michael John Molo, and it was actually his first work on a video game. Molo found it was a challenge to get the music to support Strider's constant state of action. He focused on the environments and themes, giving each one a unique sound palette, and creating a sense of freneticism for the player. Overall, you know I liked the older Strider 2 back on the PlayStation 1, but to me this is the perfect Strider experience, and the one that has officially made me a bigger Strider fan. The unrelenting, fast-paced action, to the music, to the visual presentation of Strider's world, everything here is so on point and beautifully crafted. It does not get much better than this, and I don't think anyone else could have delivered the way Double Helix has. And to be frank, I'm actually not that much of a Metroidvania fan. Personally, I never enjoyed the way old Metroid games felt and played. I did like the new Metroid Dread, mainly because that game was a big improvement in regards to the way Samus fluidly moves and with all the new combat techniques, or just being able to freely aim around the screen. Even so, there were times where Metroid Dread felt like a bit of a slog, especially with how often you would get lost in that game's map. And I'm not a fan of backtracking in these kind of games. So having said that, with the streamlined nature of this game's Metroidvania map, it made it the perfect Metroidvania experience for me. Every room and pathway is tidy and so carefully planned out and put together in a way that it never felt like a chore, even if I wanted to go to the far opposite side of the map. I love this game so much that despite already owning it on Xbox and PC, as well as the free version I got off of PlayStation Plus, after playing it, I still went out and picked up a physical copy because it's just that damn good. The physical copy is only available in Japan, but it is readily available on PSN, Xbox Live, and on Steam, and it's often on sale, so if you haven't played Strider 2014, I highly recommend you pick this game up. Whether you enjoy a good fast-paced 2D action platformer, or the exploration and discovery of a Metroidvania, you owe it to yourself to play Strider 2014, as it is the finest example of both. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like, it helps out the channel, and maybe drop a comment, and if you haven't already, subscribe for more. And we'll be back with more reviews and other kinds of videos, so I'll see you down below or on the next one. Until then, Den signing off.